Hi everyone, this is Mrs. Baxter, and this morning we are going to cover really quickly a histogram. So we didn't cover this for our quiz, but we are going to be using and creating histograms for the statistics project that we're about to go into. You'll notice some things here that are a little bit different than say a bar graph, and we'll talk about that in another day, but also something that is similar to when we talked about frequency tables, except now we've taken it and we've just put it into a histogram. So with a histogram, you're going to see that a histogram actually divides the data into intervals. So you're going to notice there's an interval right here from 0 to 5, 5 to 10, 10 to 15, 15 to 20. And we're going to use rectangles to show the frequency or the count of observations in each interval. So you'll notice the frequency is here. So as we look at the interval 0 to 5, we see the frequency happened one time. If we looked at 5 to 10 right here, the frequency happened 0 times. There's nothing in that bar graph. For 10 to 15, we see the frequency, it happened 4 times. And for the last interval, we see that it happened 3 times. Okay, so you're gonna look over here and go, oh, that's where that lined up. All right, the size of the interval may vary. Okay, so you may have something like 0 to 1, 1 to 2, or maybe 0 to 50, and then 50 to 60, something like that. Okay, so in this histogram that you're looking at, the question is how many data points are in this particular set of data? Well, we talked about that just momentarily, but if I look at it, I say in my 0 to 5 category, I have 1 data set. In my 5 to 10, I have 0. In my 10 to 15, I have 4. I hope you're noticing I have 4 in this category right here. Okay, and then in my last interval, 15 to 20, we have 3. And all you're gonna do is you're gonna add those up. So I have 5, 8 total. Okay, so in this particular set of data, I have 8 data points. All right, so when you look at this histogram, can you list 2 things you notice about the distribution of a data? Well, the first thing I notice is that our data is skewed or more concentrated with higher numbers towards the right side of the graph. So you could write something like this. 1, the graph is skewed toward the right side. Okay, and then something else I notice is that there are 0 data points between 5 and 10. Okay. All right, so on this example below, it says use the data to make a histogram. So one of the things that we have to do is determine where our intervals are going to be, okay, and how we're going to go ahead and create our histogram here. All right, so if I'm looking at this, I'm going to first create a little bit of a frequency table. So let me create my table here, okay. And I'm going to have probably 4 different categories. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay. So I'm going to have my dollars here, okay, for garden mulch, and this is my frequency. Okay, how many times does that dollar amount appear? And when I figure out my dollars, I'm going to figure out a range of dollars right here. So as I'm looking this, I'm seeing my minimum number is 4 and my maximum number is 12, right? So I'm going to maybe do something like 4 to 5, 5 to 6, 6 to 7, 7 to 8. No. 4 to 6. How about that? 4 to 6. Okay. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Don't want to do that. 4 to 6. 7 to 8. 9 to 10. 11 to 12. Let's try that. Normally, I would say we should try to keep our frequencies about the same, but we'll look at it this way. All right, so how many times do we see the number 4, 5, or 6 show up in this first category? Well, I'm going to use my colored pens here. I see 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I'm going to write 6. Okay. My next one, let's see, category 7 to 8. So I have 1, 2, 3. And then let's try green this time. Let's look from 9 to 10. I have 1, 2, 3. Oh, I see I already made a mistake. And 12, 11, 12 was just 1. So right here is my 11 to 12. But I forgot my $5 here, so we can go back in. And let's add one more. Let's take this out. Oops, that's not my mess. Hold on. Let me see if I can make this smaller. How do I make it teeny tiny? Okay, there, better. And this should be actually 7, like that. Okay, so when I go in here to do my frequency table, this side, my y-axis, is going to be my frequency, and the bottom is going to be the dollar per yard of mulch, okay? And when you make your frequency table, you're going to make your intervals. I'm going to start at 0, go like this, okay? And I'm going to go 4 to 6, 7 to 8, 9 to 10, and 11 to 12. All right. The one thing you're going to notice about histograms is that your bars touch each other because your numbers actually go all the way from 0 to whatever number. They're consecutive. Okay. So make sure that your histogram is touching each other. And when we do our bar graph, I'm going to go ahead and color code this so you can see it. Let's see. I'm just going to go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Pretend there's one more up here, okay? So I'm going to go up here like this. And our line is probably going to go about like that. All right. So with the first one, we have it goes all the way to 7, okay? So this is my first category. Okay, do your best here. Okay, and then from 7 to 8, I have 3. So 7 to 8 is 3. My 9 to 10 is also 3. And my 11 to 12 is, let's do this fun color, is just 1. Like this. What do you notice about this data? Well, the first thing I notice is that $4 to $6 per yard of mulch is the highest number. It's the most frequently occurring dollar cost. And that some of our data we can say is skewed to the left. Or you could say something like, not very many companies charge more than $10 per yard of mulch. Okay, so there's a lot of different things we can say about this. But anyway, I wanted to show you really quickly how to draw a histogram. We'll get lots of practices with this over the statistics projects. If you have any questions, just let me know. All right, have a good one. Thank you.